everybody and welcome on today's video. Today we are going to talk about the work that needs to be done on this English U. So let's have a closer look. So this tree has a lot of dead wood, and these are all new shoots from last year. And on the older wood I have lots of new buds emerging, like here and in the upper part. So of course these new shoots I will never use them, but it's helping the roots to develop, so I'll let them grow for this year. That's why I'm not going to repot this tree, but I have other issues with this tree, which I'm going to show you right now. So if we look at the root base, it's quite nice. It has a good taper if you look at this from this side. But if you look at it from other sides, it is completely dramatic. There is a whole section missing here and here too. So this is definitely something that I should take care of. Now I thought about different possibilities. Last year I cut some branches and I inserted them in this pot, and well, they are still green, so I can make cuttings of this tree probably. And then graft these cuttings later on. That's one possibility. Another possibility is to air layer this trunk up to here where this big wound is. But I'm not too keen on that idea because, well, I'm going to lose this nice root flare at both sides. So I could graft some roots here by just air layering a few of the long shoots in the top section. But I think I'm going to try a completely different thing. And the first thing I need to do is get all this topsoil off. So that's what I'm going to do now. With yews, it is quite common to see that on spots where they touch ground, they emerge new little roots, completely spontaneous. So my idea is to do some air layering technique, but just for the I'm going to cover this tree up in soil up to here, and hope that I have new roots emerging from here without, well, cutting back the older parts. But I will have to make these roots grow in a pattern that will widen the root base here. So the idea is to construct some foam parts that will guide these roots in a wider pattern back in the ground. But therefore I have to get rid of 1 or 2 centimeters of the topsoil. Because the tree grew well, it is quite happy in this sandy mix. You see, these are all new roots because, well, it touches the ground. And so first clean up, and then I'll try to make some foam parts to insert here. So while I'm digging, I'm discovering a few interesting surface roots. You see, this is all new. These little white roots are new growth from last year, which means that this tree, like all yews, have the tendency to easily make new roots when they touch the ground. But to obtain a mature root like this one, it's gonna take years, and it would be a shame to lose them. Same goes for the root here. If I air layer this, I'm going to lose this really mature and old bark. So I'm trying to save this. So I managed to find some roots growing next to the trunk, and these roots are quite bendable yet. So I made a few pieces of foam, and now I am fixing these roots onto the foam so that they will stay in position. Now these roots are loose, and I covered it with wet moss to secure them, to ensure that they are not drying out while I'm doing this. And then I'm making a root flare. Same here, found two nice roots. And I'm just fixing them now to the foam like this. So this is the result of the foam, trunk base, let's call it this way. So what I'm going to do now is try to tighten this, and then with natural raffia, so it will perish in the coming season, and then fine-tune a little that it looks a little more natural. But I gotta fix it first, and this way I can fix these roots too. So this is what it looks like now. As you see, I have many little holes here between the foam construction, and I'm going to fill these with soil now, in order that when there are roots growing, they have something to grow in. Now it's all quite loose because it is very difficult to fix this raffia. So I'm just covering all these things up in soil, and then I'm going to plant some moss over it, just to keep the soil nicely in place. So from these parts I will try to make new roots emerge, but I don't have to do a lot for that. Maybe just make little wounds here, but I don't think it's really necessary with the yew. I think they will grow by themselves. But and then I'm going to put this little pot around it, and cover it up in soil up to here, so that new roots can form. But I'm quite confident that they will come anyway. So just going to tape this. So now I'm going to fill this pot with a good soil mix. So now the only thing I want to do is to get a decent draining soil mix on top of this this pot, so that the water can penetrate easily, and that will be the end of the root part, and it's the end of the day. So the top part is for another day. course I'm going to give this whole thing a good watering. Make sure that I put nice water in here. As you might see, I just I let like this. There is one or 2 centimeters. So if there is a lot of water in it, it will drain through and pull the new roots down. So it's been 2 or 3 weeks since I placed this pot on this tree, and now I think it is time to have a look at what should be done at the upper part, because well, the buds are really swelling and I have already significant growth from 1 or 2 centimeters on the new shoots. And if I have a look at this tree, I think it is rather high and big, and maybe I think I should get a tree that is a little shorter, and probably it would be a good idea to do some branch selection now. So let's bring the camera a little closer. So for example, I have this branch here, which is very long and a little leggy. There is a new shoot here with a little bud on it, and 3 shoots already here and emerging from almost the same spot. And what I think I'm going to do is remove one of these 2, so that the sap will make this little bud swell and grow. But in order to work on the roots later, I am going to air this branch and maybe use it as a new root in the coming years. So of course the pot I used around these roots is going to provide me with some new roots, but I will surely need to get some in manually at spots where nothing was going on. So I'm going to need some roots. Now I never really air layered a yew, so I think I'm just going to remove some piece of bark at one side and a little at the other side, but leave a channel of bark here and here. And then get this in. Cocoa peat, like so. This whole construction will give some weight to this branch and will pull it down, which is something useful at this in this stage. So here I took a piece of bark away from 2 little branches, and I'm going to put them in the same aluminium foil. Which will make 2 air layers in the same pocket, if it works, of course. It's always a little tricky. So I air layered a lot of these small branches, and what I'm going to do now is to bring the tree a little down by just cutting back some of the old but very healthy grow, and make sure that I'm always leaving some green and some new buds on it. For example, this This branch has a nice bud here, so I can cut back this, and there is lots of new growth on this spot. So I'm going to leave some of the new growth and cut back here. And this way the new buds at the inside, like you can see here, will emerge and grow and take over, and so I'm getting the green back in the inside of the tree. This is a process that can take a few years, but the roots will have to grow for a few years to become attractive, so it's just a question of doing different things at the same time and getting the tree ready for its first styling, I guess. This is a very thick branch, but there's green here and there, so you see it's always a good idea to leave the very young buds on the tree. So this is definitely well, too high. And I can get this back with no problem because there is new growth here. Little bud here, I'm going to keep it. And just work my way around. Here is a very little tiny bud, but it's going to emerge, so maybe cut it back in little shoots. So yes, just bringing the tree down again. So the tree is a whole lot shorter now, and I removed quite a lot of foliage, but left tons of new and healthy buds on the tree. And next thing I'm going to do is just take some of these cuttings and remove some needles, and then push a hole in the pot and insert them. And if it roots well, I have new little yew trees that I can use later on to graft here in the root section. So it's, well, I don't know if they are going to root, but even take two at the time, you know. Won't do any harm. So this is all that needs to be done on this yew for, well, this month. Just trying to get the green back inside of the tree. Try to find a solution to have more back budding. Trying to find a solution for this roots with all these cuttings and all these areas. So, well, the best thing to do now is just let it grow and wait to see what is going to happen. So in the meantime, thank you for watching and see you next time.